Welcome back everyone, it's Blue Inferno here, and this is part 2 of the Barbarian Archetypes, where I go over the last 10 that are available. The good news is that you don't need to have seen the first video for this to make sense. The archetypes are never put in any order, so you can watch this one, then go back and check out the first. But one thing that you might want to know is what an archetype is, and for that, I have made a short video and the card is displayed in the top right corner now. And I put a link in the description. I must say it was a lot of fun to learn how to play Barbarian in the process of making these videos. It's easy to see this class as a character that holds the W key and rushes in with no thought or concern in the world. While I must admit some of the archetypes definitely lend their strength to that playstyle, the Barbarian overall is more than that. Not only do you need to be a weapon master with the limited, but powerful selection of weapons the Barbarian has access to, you can also find ways to build yourself as a frontline tank, team support, and enemy debuff bomb. While it's clear that rage is central to compete in the very high levels of play, especially if you're playing solo, I do think that on your way there, a couple of the more niche archetypes could find their way into your team. I'm excited to see what you guys think, so make sure to leave a comment below on any unique or interesting ways you've applied the Barbarian skills. Now with no further ado, let's begin. Dominator. Difficulty 3. Skills: Savage Roar and War Sacrifice. Perks: Treacherous Lungs and Berserker. This Barbarian archetype compares very closely to the Shock Trooper archetype from part 1. Where the Shock Trooper relied on hitting hard and fast at a cost to their own survivability, the Dominator gains a much more modest speed increase while enhancing all of their combat abilities at the same time. You will activate War Sacrifice when you know you can force a preferred engagement, and when the enemy team pulls towards you to stop your advance, hit them with a Savage Roar and dice them to pieces. A great Barbarian with lots to offer highly skilled players, and easy enough to grasp for a relatively new player. Strength: Excellent team frontline synergy. Greatest weakness is catching fleeing enemies. The Captain. Difficulty 4. Skills: Achilles Strike and Warcry. Perks: Axe Specialization and Robust. With these two skills, you can act not only as a primary initiator for your team, by landing an Achilles Strike Francisca axe on one enemy, you can also use your Warcry to boost your team's health in case of an ambush, giving all of you a little time to adjust for the coming battle, or simply go full aggro, boosting your team and using your Achilles Strike to condemn the first enemy hit and guarantee their demise. I struggled to name this archetype and to see its specific use, but controlling the flow of battle and providing survivability to your team at a moment's notice fits the bill of any good captain. Strength: Great mix of control and support. Greatest weakness: it's team dependent. Devourer. Difficulty 6. Skills: Blood Exchange and War Sacrifice. Perks: Berserker. Slow and purposefully, you mow into your enemies, hopefully with a little armor and a teammate to boost your health. Your mission is simple: consume them faster than they can consume you. With this set of skills and some thick armor, you truly are a terror to behold, thriving more and more the greater the battle. As well as that, the tighter you can get into multiple enemies the better, taking advantage of multiple healing effects from each swing with Blood Exchange. Strength: Wins almost every DPS trade. Weakness: Enemies that will kite you and wait your abilities out. Hunter Killer. Difficulty 9. Skills: Achilles Strike and Reckless Attack. Perks: Axe Specialization. Your combination of crowd control and armor breaking makes you a master of precision damage trading. Achilles Strike can be used to line up your Reckless Attack, allowing you to focus on hunting down heavily armored targets, or you can split your abilities to punish your enemies every move. I really struggled to place this build and to get footage though. It's a little tricky to use these skills in combination to avoid getting hit multiple times while you have Reckless Attack active. But if you can master your timing and place your abilities just right, I can see this Barbarian countering highly armored frontlines. Strength: Catching and dispatching armored enemies. Weakness: You're punished for poor skill usage. Spirit Crusher. Difficulty 3. Skills: Blood Exchange and Savage Roar. Perks: Treacherous Lungs and Berserker. Your enemies will flee in your wake, or rather, they'll wish that they did. When this archetype initiates on a fight with Blood Exchange active, they use Savage Roar to rob their enemies of the damage they need to stop you. If the sight of a Barbarian with Blood Exchange running up on them doesn't destroy their will to fight, hearing Savage Roar rob them of their strength sure will. This archetype pairs especially well with other frontline classes that can help catch the enemy, while waiting for the Spirit Crusher to get into position and rob them of all chances of victory. Strength: Massive damage mitigation. Greatest weakness: Initiating a fight, the enemies will just run away. Charger. Difficulty 1. Skills: Rage and Warcry. Perks: Treacherous Lungs and Robust. This archetype leaves little to the imagination and revels in the chance to be the first to the fight. With a massive increase to your hit points, speed, and damage, you barrel into the enemy team with reckless abandon. Just make sure you're not too far ahead of your teammates though. A strong counterpush from the enemy team can stop your charge dead in its track. No archetype craves a healing pocket cleric like this one though. Yes, you will trade hit points quickly, but with a massive pool for your cleric to maintain, you can min-max any DPS trade. Strength: Massive pushing power. Greatest weakness: If you're overconfident. Carnage Crusher. Difficulty 8. Skills: Reckless Attack and War Sacrifice. Perks: Carnage and Berserker. Unlike the Gladiator from Part 1, this archetype doesn't have the luxury of running in at breakneck speeds to dumpster one opponent and reposition before the enemy team can respond. While playing this archetype, you need to use War Sacrifice to kill a squishy enemy on the side, so that you can activate Carnage, which will mitigate the damage you take from the armored enemy to follow. This was a cool interaction I discovered because the use of Reckless Attack will typically bait the enemy to take advantage of your lowered resistances, but little do they know, you're covered by the armor buff from Carnage. Strength deceives enemy armored targets into thinking you're weak. Greatest weakness, difficult to line that combo up. Trapper, difficulty 2. Skills, Achilles Strike and Savage Roar. Perks, Axe Specialization and Treacherous Lungs. The Trapper specializes in ensuring an unfair fight, taking advantage of the massive slow on hit that his large two-handed weapon possesses. Whether or not you use Achilles Strike to close the distance, or as a guaranteed kill on your melee weapon, you'll use Savage Roar on your enemy once they've been slowed to ensure that there will be no escape. Once slowed, the only option left for your enemy is to turn on you with their weakened arms. This Barbarian doesn't want a fair fight. It wants to pin down an enemy and crush them with little to no resistance. Strength, they're a 1v1 bully. Greatest weakness, magic damage is going to tear you apart anyways. Health Monger. Difficulty 2. Skills, Blood Exchange and War Cry. Perks, Treacherous Lungs and Robust. This clever build compensates for the weakness of Blood Exchange by using War Cry to immediately remedy your only drawback, while increasing your entire team's health pool at the same time. When you have both abilities active when you engage, the combination of healing and massive hit point pool allows you and your team to soak unparalleled amounts of damage, taking advantage of your enemy's confidence that it should only take one more hit to kill you, right? This archetype is extremely fun to play with a team, and with another frontliner by your side, you become unstoppable. Strength, ridiculous HP pool. Greatest weakness, no skill to improve your lethality against your enemies. Speed Freak. Difficulty 1. Skills, Rage and War Sacrifice. Perks, Treacherous Lungs and Berserker. This is the fastest Barbarian that Dark and Darker has to offer. It's easy to forget that War Sacrifice will give you an additional 4 move speed, bringing your full move speed bonus to plus 40 with both abilities active. Although you take a massive hit to your survivability, the Speed Freak is the cream of the crop if you want to hit hard and fast. Taking minimal effort to hit the speed cap and having 2 skills that improve your damage output by a massive degree. I had such an easy time with this one, I can't believe it's not more popular. Strength, fastest Barbarian archetype. Greatest weakness, it has no team synergies. Well, that's all of them. Thank you all for watching part 2 of the Barbarian Archetypes. Let me know below which class to do next. With this, I have 4 of them done and 5 left to go. Again, I think the Barbarian is a blast to play, and it has the potential for a little more tactical flexibility than it's currently assumed to have. And I've included all archetypes here, including the ones from part 1. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It goes a long way to help out a small content creator like myself. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.